Hey there and welcome to my channel. If you're here for the collab, and you have noticed this is not your typical WW collab. This is all about saving money. One of my subscribers, Jennifer, asked could I and some of my other YouTube friends maybe do some videos about saving money, because the times we're in kind of lends itself to making what we have stretch as far as we can stretch it, and that's with our time and all the resources that we have available to us. I thought, what a perfect idea. So that day, by nightfall, I had contacted my friends. There's 9 of us in this collab. I'm going to tell you what, these girls are fantastic. They jumped on it. They're like, yes, I have some ideas. I can help with, because I've done this, and they were all eager to help y'all. They were all eager to share the knowledge that they have, and we all have something different. I know that because we all live in different parts of the country, and we're all different ages, and we're all live in different households, different family members, and so we're all coming from a different place of experience in our life. So you're just going to get a mix of things. I don't even know what everybody's going to do, because I left it open for interpretation, because there's more than one way to save money. Every way is not revolve around food. As WW members, pretty much everything we do revolves around food and points. Well, when it comes to saving money, there's plenty other ways that you can save money, and that's why I left it open. Wherever they're knowledgeable and whatever their experience is, that's what I wanted to have them bring you. So their content, their format, the whole thing is up to them. And I trusted them because it's a great bunch of ladies, and they jumped on it. When I emailed them, they're like, yes, I will be honored to participate, because they all want to help y'all. We're here for y'all. Most of us started it for us. That's just the truth. We started our channels for ourselves, but then it evolved to being here and staying here for y'all. So we came for us, but we stay for y'all, and I think I can speak for every single one of them in this collab. I think I can speak for them and say, we are here for you. So it is all of our honors to give you this collab. We hope that you take something away from it. We hope that you are able to learn something new, to get inspiration, to change your mindset. We have to have a mindset for losing weight. We have to get that mindset right, or we're going to fail, and you know that. We have to get that mindset right for our money situation, or we're going to fail. We have to start it up here, and that's what I want. I want to get you thinking. When you start thinking, then you're going to start putting it into action. So I'm really excited. I'm passionate about this subject, because I have kicked up my old ways again, and it's getting me excited. And when I think and find something new to do, then I'm like, get all giddy about it, because I'm like, oh, I didn't know I could do that. And then when you can make something do with what you have, and you didn't have to go out and buy something new, which I do like to buy new, I ain't gonna lie. But when you can find a new way to do something, it gets you all excited. So I want y'all to get excited, and that's all I'm gonna say. Be sure and go visit every single one of them, because every single one of them is going to be different. I don't know, cooking, not cooking, I don't know. I'm excited to see myself. I'm waiting on this collab to come along as much as y'all are. So visit everybody, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. You know all those things. Click that like, hit that notification bell, all that good stuff. And if you have ways, I've already had one video. That was the video that spurred Jennifer on to ask if we would do this. It was a video about being good stewards over your resources. I got a lot of good comments on that video of things they do. I'm going to put it all together, offer it in an email. So if you have things that you want included that you do, drop them down in my comments below, because I'm always interested to hear new stuff. So without further ado, let's go see what I'm going to do. I'm going to be working with potatoes, or as I like to call them, taters. We're going to work up a potato freezer plan. That's what I'm calling it. 5 pounds of potatoes. We're working up 4. 3 I'm going to let you keep for supper the night you cook. And the rest we're going to put in the freezer to have on hand. And we're not going to waste one single piece of those potatoes. So hang on. Let's go see what we're going to do. I hope you enjoy it. And I'll talk to you later. Okay, so I'll apologize for the lighting. It's dark because this is the night before we're going to do our cooking. We're going to prep tonight. That way we don't have as much to do tomorrow. So off in the background, you can't see them all. I have 16 potatoes. And they're roughly, let me tell you, each one weighs roughly 7.5 pounds. Pounds. Ounces. Yeah, that'd be a lot of taters right there. All of them measured up together right at 4 pounds. So out of your 5 pound bag, that'll give you maybe 3 of them. Pop in the oven. You can bake them at the same time as we do these. Have them for supper tomorrow night. When you're through cooking, you're going to be tired. At least you'll have one of your side dishes done. So leave those out. Your 1 pound, have it for supper. This is plenty for what we want to make. So I have 10 that I'm going to use for mashed potatoes and potato skins. So that'll give us, not sure, it'll be determined after we mix the mashed potatoes up how many servings we're going to get. But that will give us 20 potato skins. And I have calculated them. I've been messing with the recipe builder, getting it the way I want it to get the amount of ingredients together. And they should come out to 1 point a piece. I'm not sure before we get the, well, I do have the exact, that's the mashed potatoes. The 1 point a piece, I don't think it's a true 1 point. I will either tell you tomorrow or I'll have it in my recipe if I forget. Good chance I'm going to forget. Then the other 6 we're going to turn into loaded twice baked potatoes. And all this is going to go in the freezer to have it later on. What I've done, the first thing is I took all my potatoes, had a big old bowl I put in the sink, or you can put them straight in the sink, filled it with water and some apple cider vinegar just to help clean the dirt off and any germs. Scrubbed them really good and let them sit out because I want them to be good and dry for when we bake them. So those are washed, set on the towel. They're going to just sit out here overnight and wait until tomorrow. Now we're going to weigh out all the ingredients that goes in the potato skins and the twice baked potatoes. So let's work on the loaded potatoes first. I've already taken 3 bags, just little baggies, and wrote on them what they are, how much is in it, in case my recipe builder is acting up, because it has been. At least if my notes are wrong, I have so much scribbling on my paper, it's not funny. I will have it in front of me on this paper. So the first thing we're going to use, you use any cheese you want. I'll give the amounts that I'm using, and you can substitute any kind of cheese you like. I'm using this from Harris Teeter, 2% shredded sharp cheese. And we need a cup, or we know that 4 ounces shredded is a cup. So instead of trying to measure it and get the right amount, we'll just take 4 ounces. You'll get more if you weigh it than if you measure it by the cup, I'll tell you that. Because the cup, it doesn't realize that you have blank airspace in there. Four on the dot. Let's set that aside. So we have our 1 cup or 4 ounces of cheese. See if I can do this without spilling it. Now I used to make these twice baked potatoes a lot and put them in the freezer, because I used to do a lot of freezer cooking, like, you know, stand on your feet all day, and then I got to where I didn't do that much anymore. But this is such a easy way to use up your potatoes and have them ready to go, and to use all the potato, not waste a single bite of it. So there's our cheese. I just have this little dish. I'm gonna put everything in it, pop the whole thing in the refrigerator. Then the next thing is 3 slices of my favorite bacon, the Great Value. 3 slices is only 2 points. This is going to work out, since we're having 6 potatoes, going to be 12 twice baked potatoes. Yeah, that's right. Did I count that right? Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I should have 3 more slices of bacon. I should have 6 slices of bacon. So hold on, I'm gonna pause you. I got another. That was the last 3 in here. I got another pack. Pop them in the microwave. I'm gonna move this. I'm gonna use the same plate. I didn't microwave them while we were on camera because it's just the racket. So let me microwave those and come right back to you. Okay, that needs to cool before we cut it. So I'm gonna let that sit there and skip over to the twice baked potatoes. And since I got my cutting board here, let's just go ahead and cut our little green onions. I went ahead. You can do as much as the green as you like, but that's usually about all I like of the green. I'm thinking 3 might be enough, but I won't know till I see it. Let's see. For 6 potatoes, I think that'll do, because I don't want it just pure onion. I didn't mark what this was because I think we can tell that it's onions and to taste. So just do your onions to taste. Okay, I think our bacon is good enough. You know what I might do, just to make it easier to get on in the bag, I'm just going to chop this here. That's much easier than trying to get it off of that cutting board. Okay, slide that up there out of the way. So that's done. Then for the cheese, this one, for the skins, we're going to use the Harris Teeter 2% Mexican cheese. I like it because it is fancy shredded, and I think it will sprinkle better and freeze better on top of the potato skins. So 2/3, I have it written down on my bag. 2/3 of a cup is 2.6 ounces. Right there, 2.6 on the money. The last thing, these real bacon pieces, I'm using these for the skins because they're nice and uniform, more so than what I just cut. You saw that. To sprinkle better. 1 serving is 1 tablespoon. There's 10 servings in here, and I need 10 tablespoons because I'm making 20 skins. I want half a tablespoon of this as well. So I'm not even going to measure it out because it's exactly what I need. Worked out cool. So I'm just going to pop that right there. Now we have all of our ingredients. The next thing I'm going to do is cut my pieces of tin foil for my potatoes. So let me clean this mess up. Okay, it is the morning of our cooking day. I'm getting an early start. Gonna get my potatoes baking in the oven. You're just gonna bake them like any other potato that you bake. 400 degrees, maybe an hour. We'll check on them after about an hour. We want them good and fluffy because we're gonna make mashed potatoes with these. Now I've already taken my little sharp fork and poked over the tops. And this is all we're going to do. Well, first, let me do these all together. I want to grease all of them, and I'm just going to spray and just your towel will wash up just fine. Get the other side. Look at there. Good thing I had another can in the wings. You could tell that one was running out. So just like you need to be showed how to wrap a potato. Just get them all wrapped. Put them on your baking sheet. Like I said, about an hour at 400. And once they're baked, then we will start on putting everything together. Okay, so my potatoes are done. 400 degrees, 1 hour. I have pulled one out, checked it with a toothpick. It was just fine. The skins feel good. It feels real good and moist. Now we're going to cut these in half because we're going to scoop out all of them. 10 are going to be for the mashed potatoes and the potato skins, but 6 are going to be for the twice baked potatoes. If I cut it this way, then it's going to be like that, and that's a smaller surface. So I want to cut it on the smaller surface. I'm cutting them hot because I want to scoop them out warm so they'll mash better. So you want to cut them where you have the most surface area. So I'm going to go through and do all that and let them cool off enough to touch because you can see them steaming, and then I'll be back at that point. Okay, so I got all the potatoes scooped out. What I did when I cut them in half is I picked the prettiest and nicest and biggest ones, put on this tray. This is just for the stuffed. Now you can see I broke one scooping them out. This is what I use when I scoop potatoes, is this grapefruit spoon, because you can really get a good scrape on it. But if you're not careful when you go to the bottom, you will tear the shell. A couple of these I had to cut the end off because it was black. I had a couple like this one. It just almost fell apart on me. I'm still going to use them. I had 2 that broke apart. So we're good on that. Now, let me show you how I am determining the amount of potatoes we're putting in our recipe builder. And you that watch me, you know I use my little whiteboard. It is between the whiteboard and Alexa, lifesavers in the kitchen. This is the big bowl I'm using. I'll show you that. It has all the potatoes in it. This is how I broke it down. I went ahead, I'm just going to lean down here and talk. I went ahead and weighed the bowl empty. That's how much it weighed empty. I put it in grams too because I keep a chart inside my cabinet of the different, like all my Instant Pot liners, my crock pot liners, different mixing bowls that I use. I keep all those, the ounces and the grams, how much they weigh empty. That way, when I forget making a recipe, and I usually always do, to weigh it beforehand, I just open up my cabinet, there it is. Now I have that on my website. If you go look, you can print it out and you can customize it to anything you need it to be. Or if you have the Instant Pots and the crock pots like I have, you can just use those weights and then customize and add your other specific things. So I took the twice baked potatoes out first because I just wanted that amount to go back in those potato shells. Potatoes and bowl and all was this. When I subtracted the amount of the bowl from the total potatoes and bowl, this is how many ounces of potatoes we have. We have 29.85 ounces of potatoes to go back in the twice stuffed potatoes. Now, I could have put them in a separate bowl, but I want to mash them together. So, I thought these were going to still be warm, but I made breakfast, and then I got busy, and they got cold. So, when I go back over there, I'm going to heat them in the microwave. But let's go ahead and talk about measuring. Then, now that I know I need that much potatoes for those, I put in the rest of them for the mashed potatoes. The total amount of all the potatoes in bowl was that. I subtract the two bowl sizes, gives me 56.05 for all the potatoes. Then I take away that amount, and for the mashed potatoes, we end up with 26.2. So now we know what to put in our recipe builder. I will take to the other side of the kitchen where we're going to do our mixing. I'm going to put these, I have a real big cornware, I guess, yeah, dish that I'm going to put these in and pop them in the microwave because I want to get them warm enough to melt my butter, and then I will be back. Okay, I got my potatoes heated up and they're already starting to cool, so we're just going to have to go with it. Now, this is my mashed potatoes. Let's give them a good bit of salt. I was measuring them out, and it just wasn't adding up. I couldn't figure out what in the world was going on. So I re-weighed this bowl. When I weighed it the first time, I looked up under. It was 31.9. It was really 37. I couldn't see the top of the 7, so I was off 6 ounces and some change. I think the way it subtracted. No, not some change. 6 ounces. So I just subtracted. I don't even know if I subtracted right. I'll be honest with you. I was trying to do all that math and it was getting on my nerves. What I have, the final answer is I have 20. I've already forgot. Well, I know I have 18 ounces for the twice baked, and I think 23 over here. I think, no. Yeah, that's right. So let's go ahead and add our butter to both while we still got some kind of warmth. The mashed potatoes get a whole, let's see, 4, and I can go up to 8. I'm going to start with that. And then the twice baked gets 3. Now these, this one stays at 3. And that brings the potatoes to 4 points each. I'll have to go back and put my new potato count in the recipe builder. So, subject to change. So I just want to go ahead. I was going to mash these all together is what I told you I wanted to do. I was going to mash them up and then put the butter in them, but I got so aggravated with trying to figure out where my mistake was. I just went ahead and separated them out, and we're going with it. So I just want to mash that butter to try to melt it, and then we will come back. Hold on. We will come back with those. So we have salt in there, butter. I think 5 tablespoons would be enough. Pepper. Now sour cream is for those, so we'll get those in a minute. The only other thing I need, I put in Recipe Builder to see the points, and I can go up to 2 cups, and obviously I'm not going to use 2 cups, but I want to start with that so then I can subtract down. But it's the same points between 1 and 2 cups. So let's go ahead and just pour. And you use any mashed potato recipe you like. Uh-oh. You know what? I think I got them on the wrong. I got them on the wrong side. There we go. There we go. Okay, I'm going to put you on hold a minute. All right, it used all but, what, about a quarter cup of milk. And they're not creamy as the old, the old way, simply because it was skim milk. Use whatever milk you like. I'm going to set this over here. We'll save this milk. We might need it in our other potatoes. Now, set this aside for a second, and then we'll measure it and bag it up. But let's go ahead and mix up our twice baked. So let me fluff them up a little bit. Now I'm going to use the light sour cream, a half a cup. And you can adjust any of these amounts. Hold on. Okay, sorry, I got pepper on those, I think. So I'm using half a cup. Then remember our little dish. Get the tater skins. There's twice baked. Loaded, okay. So that would be for that. Let me mix this in. And then we have our 6 slices of bacon. Our 1 cup of cheese. And our green onions. And all we have to do, I'm going to get my, let me see, I got another one. Is mix this in. I'm probably going to add that milk just to loosen it up a little bit. If I need more, I'll get it. Golly, this smells so good. And no particular amount of milk. Just go till it is the consistency that you want to have. Okay, let me go get those shells. We'll go ahead and stuff those. How about that? And then we'll bag up our mashed potatoes. Okay, now I am not going to weigh this or measure it. I'm going to cross my fingers that I get it even. We can always go back and add more if the first go around isn't, usually I can't do 2 things at one time. Not today. A lot of times I can talk to y'all while I'm cooking, but today I'm having difficulties. Technical difficulties. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and fill all these up. We will put this in the freezer until they are frozen hard enough to stack without sticking together. Now I'm going to slide these over there, come back, and we will bag up the mashed potatoes and then start on the potato skins. I measure, instead of by weight, I measure my mashed potatoes by cups. I went ahead and scraped it into my big measuring cup, and you can't really see, but there's, I always do that. I go up too high. 5 cups. Now, 5 cups will fill a quart bag almost up with enough room to zip it. That's how much my husband would like to eat. But I am going to separate it and do 2.5 cups. And let me write on here. Let me see my notes. So bake it at 350 for 30 minutes. Frozen. So we'll take it out of this bag, put it in a dish that it will fit in, obviously, and pop it in the 350-degree oven for 30 minutes. And like I said, I will have the points. Before I put these in the freezer, I will check the points and I will write the points on the bag. So what we will do to make this easier is, if you have a big cup that the lip of your bag will fit over, it'll help you out. Now I'm just going to scoop half of it till I get down to about 2.5, since this is not by weight, and I will just serve myself a half a cup. I'm counting these servings as a half cup servings. Then it does not matter the total amount, since I'm just gonna pull that out anyway. Just a little bit more. You can also freeze these in like muffin pans and then pull out little individual mashed potatoes. If I went that route, I would probably cook them in the microwave instead of the oven. Because you can buy those little steaming mashed potatoes that are little nuggets. I think Trader Joe's has them too. And I think I got more in this one, but that's okay. And you just steam them in the bag. So I think you could put them in a dish and cover them and microwave them, and they would come out just beautifully. So here we're our two. Smash all the air out that you can get. Oh, hold on. Yeah, I got more in that one. You can see. I'll just be sure if I can tell which one. Depending on if we need leftovers for him to take to work, I can use the bigger one. Which, be sure you can measure using your measuring cup to make sure you have it equal. It was fine by me. So hold on, let me get the thing I'm going to freeze them in. Alright, y'all, whenever we get cut loose and we can go back out into society, if you ever see one of these little type of food service pans in your thrift store, get it, because I use this thing. It's beautiful. See, I put one that way and one that way, so then when they freeze, they're going to be nice and flat, and they're going to fit on my shelf sideways or up and down without being all crumpled, freezing to the, conforming to something else I have in there. I also use it as a bread and thing. It was especially, I did my fish, especially good for fish because of the size of it. So we'll put them in the freezer, pull my skins over here, and we'll do those. Okay, now we got our skins over here. I still have my little tray of goodies. First thing I'm going to do is take some, I can't believe it's not butter spray, and just go over each one. Now you can cover your baking sheet with tin foil. You wouldn't have to wash it, which I usually do, but I just didn't today for some reason. Then the next thing, we want to put our cheese. And I'm not going to measure per skin. I just know that this amount is what I want for all 20. So I'm just going to do my best at guesstimating how much each one gets. Okay, that worked out pretty good. You know what? I forgot to salt and pepper them. Oh, okay. Before you put on the cheese, salt and pepper them. I don't really want to salt over my cheese. Oh well, we'll just count it as the things that happen on my channel. Remember, we want to use the whole bag of bacon bits. And I'm having a hard time getting open. And we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to go through and eyeball. So these go in the freezer. Once these and the other potatoes are frozen, we'll come back and bag them up. So I will see you then. Okay, it's been about 3.5 hours. Everything's hard enough to put in a bag. We're going to start with the potato skins. I took both my bags, and you're going to bake these from frozen at 375 for 25 to 30 minutes. For blue, the points are 1 for 1, 2 for 3 points, 3 for 4 points. Green is the same. Purple is, let me look at my notes. Purple is 1 point each, and it is a true 1 point. So no matter how many you have, 1 point. Now, these two that are broke, I'm going to set them on top of somebody else. Now the thing about these, the bacon bits and the cheese are frozen, but they're still loose. So carefully stack these on top of each other, and when you put them in your freezer, stand them upright. I think I'm going to put 10 per bag, just so it'll be more manageable. Oh, I don't know about that broken one. That's going to be rough. I don't think he's going to make it. I don't think he's going to make it. Now you can freeze these in a rigid container if you prefer. I would if I had room in my freezer, but I do not. So hold on, I'm going to bag that one up. Okay, the next thing we're going to wrap up is our twice baked potatoes. You can't hear it. They're frozen. I have 3 bags. I'm going to package 4 to a bag. That way, that's a meal size for us. 1 for me for supper, 3 for David. He can split up if he wants 2 at home, 1 at work, or vice versa. Just in case he wants 2, I figure I better throw that other one in there. Thawed, let me hold this up here. Thawed overnight in your fridge, 350 for 20 to 25 minutes. And on blue, they are 4 points each. Now let me look at my notes, because on green, they're the same. On purple, they are 1 point for 1 or 5 points for 2. Blue and green, 4 points for 1, but 7 points for 2 if you wanted 2 of them. Now these we're going to do a little differently and wrap each one in plastic, just for a little added security. I don't think I would try it with those skins, because rolling it over, everything's going to fall out. I'm just going to take my chances in the bag. You could also put these in the little fold top sandwich bags. I do that a lot with my muffins and bread items. Instead of wrapping in plastic, I just use those. So let me wrap these up, and when we come back, we'll look at everything we did today. Okay, y'all, here we have it. We're all done. That was about an investment of 4 hours. That includes 1 hour of baking time. I don't even, give or take 4 hours, I don't think it would go past 4.5, which I know it didn't. I'm just being generous to kind of give you an idea of how much time to gauge for how much time you want to put into it. Now remember, about a half an hour of that was last night when we portioned out our cheese and bacon and washed them and got them out to dry, cut our foil, So about a half hour of that is the night before. Today, about 3.5 hours, including the baking time. And this is what we ended up with: 4 pounds of taters. 4 pounds of potatoes got us 2 meals of mashed potatoes. And this is for my family of 2. Those peelings that we normally would have thrown away, I would have thrown them away, 100% thrown them away, were saved and made 20 tater skins. That'll go as far as how many ever you want to eat at the time. This is the instructions for baking them, but I'm going to try them in the air fryer. I think they'll work great in the air fryer. Then we have 12 loaded twice baked potatoes. And again, package those in the size that you use for your family. This cost $2.77 for the potatoes, and we didn't waste a crumb. That's what I call saving money. That's what I call being a wise steward over your money. I hope you enjoyed this collab. I enjoyed putting it together. Thanks again, Jennifer, for suggesting it. I can't wait to see everybody else's. I know you're going to get all kind of tips and tricks and probably recipes. I don't know. I can't wait to see it as well. So if you aren't subscribed to my channel, I would love for you to do that. We'll get into something. I always like to say, I don't know what we'll do, but we'll have fun doing it. So thanks for joining me and the other ladies. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay home. Have a good one. Bye.